If you were given the power to pit two characters from any medium against each other, who would you pick? Freddy vs. Jason has already been done, as has Alien vs. Predator, and while I'm still waiting for the epic showdown of my dad against the kid who bullied me in elementary school's dad, I can kill time with this, our provided review copy of Unmatched from Restoration Games and Mondo games. The Battle of Legends Volume 1 box contains 4 characters from literature together in dramatic fashion, so let's see if it works, or if it's as horribly unbalanced as it seems it would be. Before we continue, a quick note. Since we acquired this game for review, credible allegations of abuse have surfaced about one of the designers credited in the rulebook with the core game Restoration. Restoration Games tweeted the following immediately following the accusation. Today, we were made aware of accusations made against J.R. Honeycutt. We previously worked with him on a contract basis. This work ended approximately 6 months ago. Although JR contributed to some current and future releases in our line, he does not receive any royalties or other compensation. We will not work with him in the future. We unequivocally support and stand by victims of abuse. I want to state as well that we here at Good Luck High Five actively support all victims of abuse and harassment and thank Restoration Games for their stance on this issue. While the ages-long debate will continue about whether or not you can separate a person from their work, we here at GLHF also recognize that a board game is not the work of a single individual, regardless of their contribution. In that vein, we'll continue our review. In the box, we have the game's 16-page rulebook, which is replete with examples and illustrations. Don't be put off by the page count. It's one of the better rulebooks I've come across. Past that is the Battle of Legends 2-sided board featuring 2 maps to play on, and that reveals the game's insert, with space individually conforming to each of the game's miniatures, as well as sections for each hero and their sidekicks. Underneath each hero is a insert for their health dials, as well as, where appropriate, dials for the sidekick. Alice's spot additionally has a token for tracking, which she's eaten and drank. An important trait to note, poor Alice when she's 10 feet tall. Let's set it up for a match, and I'll show you how to play. Here we find ourselves locked in immortal combat between Alice, of Wonderland fame, and Medusa, Queen of the Gorgons. Literary sources differ on whether or not Medusa was the actual queen, but I'm embracing it. Joining Alice is the Jabberwock, and Medusa has a team of harpies on her side. Not featured in today's game are King Arthur, joined by Merlin, obviously, and Sinbad, who teams up with his porter. Each hero has their own deck of 30 cards and the corresponding health trackers and sidekick markers. All 4 of the characters in the box have asymmetric powers, which trigger based on various game actions. Setup is easy, with the first player placing their hero in the 1 space on the board and then putting their sidekick or sidekicks in the same zone, denoted by the color and texture on the board space. Their opponent places their hero in the 2 space on the board, and so on around the table if this was a 4-player game. Each player then draws 5 cards from their deck, and you're all set. A turn consists of taking a mandatory 2 actions. You can maneuver, which forces you to draw the top card of your deck into your hand, and then allows you to move all of your fighters up to their movement value. In this case, Alice can move 2, and the Jabberwock can simply move 1. The movement rules are pretty friendly. You can move less spaces than the maximum if you so wish, and you can also move through friendly figures. You can't move through enemy figures, nor can you end your movement on an occupied space. When moving, you can also boost your movement by discarding a card from your hand to add that card's boost value, which varies depending on the card played. The second action you're allowed to take is to attack. When attacking, you'll first designate a fighter who is attacking and a target. If your fighter is a melee attacker, as Alice is, your target must be connected to your space with a black line. If attacking with Medusa, who's ranged, they only have to be in the same zone, and they can even be directly next to you. Choose a card from your hand that has the attack symbol on it and play it face down. The attack card you choose must match the fighter you're choosing to attack with, or say any. At this point, the defender can, if they desire, choose a card with a defense symbol on it and play it face down. Both cards are revealed, and if the power of the attack card is higher than the defense, you'll deal the difference as damage to the defender. Some attack and defense cards have abilities that fire in this window, so make sure you take note of those. They can often change the game. Finally, you can also scheme, which is playing a card with a lightning bolt symbol in the corner. If the card has the fighter you wish to scheme listed on it, they carry out the listed action on the card. That's all there is to it. The player who successfully whittles the opposing hero, not the whole team, down to 0 health immediately wins the game and gets returned to their plane of origin to wait to be summoned again. For those of you watching who are saying to yourself, that seems a lot like Star Wars Epic Duels, congratulations, you're right. This is a reskin, or reimagining of that game, based on Restoration Games' ethos of bringing old games back to life. Does this one work? I spoke to a few people who played Epic Duels and played this with them. They generally liked it, though at least one of them said that the reason they liked the original so much was that it was Star Wars themed. The time of the box says 20 to 40 minutes, which is a perfect amount of time for this type of gameplay. My games of this have felt tight and very enjoyable, even one of them where I thought for sure I was going to win handily, only to have King Arthur literally recover Excalibur from the Lady of the Lake and use it again on me to win the game. It felt hugely thematic and delightful. Even though I lost, and did so in a dramatic fashion, I was honestly glad it happened that way. The quick back and forth make this game a tense battler, and it looks phenomenal on the table. It's hard to find something wrong with this one, honestly. The best I can come up with is that given the fast play time, the fact there's only 30 cards in the deck and there's only 4 heroes in the box, you might find yourself wishing you had more faster than you'd like. Fortunately, Restoration and Mondo have announced a ton of expansion content for this one. Bruce Lee, which is already available at the time of this recording, 3 different Jurassic Park sets, a Robin Hood vs. Bigfoot set, and most importantly, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm putting money right now on Buffy's sidekick being Angel, but a case could be made for Spike as well. A second Battle of Legends set is also announced for 2020, meaning that there won't be any shortage of this stellar battler for a while to come. Unmatched provides a solid amount of content in the box with the promise of a slew of new characters to battle in the coming months. Gameplay is tight, quick, and most importantly, balanced on the edge of a sword. Let's go through our checklist. In the box, rulebook clear and non-gender pronouns. The rulebook very quickly walks through setup and then gets into the meat of gameplay. It does so in a very clear, direct fashion and clears up any muddy issues with ease. It also refers to the players with the second-person you throughout. Iconography clear. There are only 6 icons in the whole game, and each one is very obvious. Even if you couldn't refer to the rulebook's quick reference on the back, you'd likely still be able to tell what each one means. Packaging well done. As previously mentioned, the insert is very, very good. Each piece has a spot and everything comes together as nicely as seating at the round table. The card holders are begged to house your sleeve cards, and only then they'll keep things tight. Otherwise, there's a tiny bit of room for things to slip around. On the table, good representation. The starter box has Alice and Medusa on the feminine side and King Arthur and Sinbad on the masculine. Works for me. Component quality, very high. The minis, while unpainted, are shaded, which lends a nice table presence to them. The sidekick tokens feel great and have great thickness as well as art, and the art throughout the game from the boards to the cards is, well, if not unmatched, then certainly very good. Replay value, decent. While you've got 6 combinations of fighting duels right out of the box, the promise of more to come is tantalizing. However, barring that, there's plenty here to give you more than a few hours of entertainment, even if you just played each matchup once, which we both know you're not going to want to stop at. Fun to lose. This is a surprising yes answer. While duel games in general can lend themselves to a bit of a slog as one player often gets out to an early lead and it can be tough to catch up, Unmatched addresses this with a signature card in each deck that does a good bit of game changing. These can radically change the course of a game, so don't count yourself out until the Cheshire Cat smiles. And probably not even then. Unmatched packs a surprising amount of action into a single box that honestly only contains 4 characters, each with a simple deck of 30 cards. It does this through striking simplicity of both action and board design, and it's a testament to what can be done when the focus is to keep both action and theme at the forefront. If you enjoy tactics and card-based combat, the Unmatched system is definitely worth a look, as long as the promise of expansion content isn't a turn-off for you. I'm Nicholas, reminding you to help protect the game population. Always sleeve your cards. Hey everyone, if you enjoyed that video, please hit that sub button and check out all of our other offerings at goodluckhighfive.com. And please consider becoming a patron of the channel at patreon.com/GLHFmagic and help us keep making reviews, videos, and podcasts for as little as $5 a month. We're also always looking for new games to review, so if you make games or you know a company who does and wants to have their game reviewed on Good Luck High Five, please reach out to us at glhf@goodluckhighfive.com and we'd be happy to take a look. You can follow me, Captain N the Game Master, on Twitter and Instagram at CaptainNGM, and follow the channel at GLHF Magic. Remember, please shop at your local game store whenever possible. Until next time, I'm Nicholas, and good luck, high five.